Today we are going to see about how to install Visual Studio Code in Mac. So first we'll go to Google and we'll search for Visual Studio. So here you can click on Visual Studio Code download and you try to click on first link, very first link, and it will take you to Visual Studio portal. So here download Visual Studio Code, and here we have two options. One is for Windows and this is for Mac. So since we want to install in Mac, so either click here or click on download. So if I click on download, it will take you to new page, and so it trying to download now, and parallelly you can see here download button. So you can click on show download button. So as soon as it installed, you click on this button, it will take you to this folder. And if you see here, there are two things it is downloaded. One is Visual Studio Code and one more is applications. So what you can do is you can directly open this Visual Studio Code. You simply double click on this. So it telling that verify Visual Studio Code. So just click on OK. It asking that Visual Studio Code is an app downloaded from the internet. Are you sure want to open it? So just click on open. So if you see here, so Visual Studio, we are getting the icon. So just click on this icon. So our Visual Studio will get open. Okay, so Visual Studio would like to access files in your downloaded folder. Just click on allow. And if you want to use GitHub Copilot, you can click on continue with GitHub and you can provide your credentials. Suppose I will provide my credentials. First I entered username, then I am entering my password. And it asking for verification. So I'm selecting more options. In that I'm selecting SMS code and I'm clicking on send SMS. So I will receive message. So I got the message to my mobile. So I will enter my verification code. So, and it verifying and it asking to add passkey. You click on add passkey and you can enter your password or you can use your touch ID to save the passkey. So I just click on my touch ID in through my keyboard, and the name of your password manager or account folder. So I'm giving like name as Suri and I'll click on that. So it asking to sign in as this is my username. So I will click on continue and it asking to authorize Visual Studio Code. So I will click on authorize Visual Studio Code and click on allow, continue with GitHub. Okay, so here it asking build with AI agents. So if you want to do that one, just click on get started. And this is my Visual Studio got installed. And now, So initially where it got downloaded, so it is downloaded. So this we'll see later. So currently it is downloaded here. So suppose if you want to move this one to applications, so you can do is select on Visual Studio Code and just move to applications. So this application is equal to this one, this applications apps. So what I did, I just moved my folder to applications. So if I click on applications, you can see Visual Studio Code. So here, and at the same time, you can click here also, apps. So here also Visual Studio Code is available. So, and click again second time to minimize. So now my Visual Studio, it is in applications. So whenever you want to open Visual Studio Code, you just simply come onto these applications and you click on Visual Studio Code. And now what we are going to do now is, now Visual Studio is opened, but if you see here, here we don't have anything. So that means if I show you one thing, the link, suppose I will minimize this one and I will create one folder here. Suppose I will create one folder here. So the folder name is VS Code. So click and rename. So VS Code new. And suppose if I try to right click on this and new terminal add folder. If I click on that, so it will take you the terminal. So here, if I try to type code and it tells that command is not found. So here what we need to do is come to Visual Studio again. So here what you can do, you can type like in keyboard, like command shift P. So that means command plus shift plus P. So if you press that, so it will highlight this one and type here shell command. So if you type shell, you will get two things here. So one is install code command in path, one more is command uninstall code command from the path. So you click on install code command in the path and you click on OK and you give your password here and just give OK and it telling that shell command code successfully installed in the path. So here again, right click on this folder and click on new terminal add folder. So now type code and enter. See here, it directly taking you to the Visual Studio Code. And if you click here, it telling that no folder is opened and you can click on open folder and you can open this VS Code new. So what will happen? So whatever this folder is there, it will come here. It will highlight here VS Code new and it asking that Visual Studio Code would like to access files in your desktop folder. Just click on allow. Yeah, so this is a PySpark file. I'll click on this. So my PySpark file will get open here. And at the same time, I'll try to open one more SQL file. So come to welcome and click on open button and I'll click on SQL, go to batch one. And here I have one SQL file. So this is how you can install Visual Studio Code in Mac laptop, and you can able to use Visual Studio Code for any kind of code editor. So here I shown two things. One is SQL and PySpark, and a similar way you can do for other code languages for doing the code editing. So if you really like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.